Oh!
Welcome, one and all, to another episode of Pacific414 episode review. I am your host, Mike. Joining me tonight is none other than my co-host from Sunday Night Frontiers, TKO.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. TKO from the Digital Department of Defense, Commander-in-Chief of all things that are good and pure, proud soldier of the Doomcockian Army, here today.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. As you saw in the intro, what we are talking about this evening is Masters of the Universe Revelation, the Power of Grayskull. We're giving you our reactions and our review of the episode of the Kevin Smith-led reboot of Masters of the Universe. The sequel, as they've been hyping it as, to the Filmation Masters of the Universe. Yet TK, there's one series they are neglecting, one series they are ignoring during this whole time, and that would be the fantastic 2002 He-Man and the Masters of the Universe series. But before we get into that, let's talk about our thoughts about this episode, talk about what goes on in this episode, and since you're my guest here tonight on Pacific414 episode review, TKO, why don't you go first?
All right, I'm going to break this down into three categories. The good, the bad, and the fugly. Okay?
The fugly? What do you mean?
The fugly. We're going to start out by one. The animation in this show is on point. The character designs are true to the source material. They didn't do anything ridiculous. He-Man looks amazing. Man-at-Arms looks amazing. Skeletor's design, everyone's design is damn on point. Okay? Beautiful. The animation quality, high frames per second. It's beautiful. The music, everything, beautiful. Visually. Now, the bad. The bad kind of gets hidden until all the way to the end of the episode. So, I mean, are we doing a spoilers review or are we doing a non-spoiler review?
Yes.
All
Folks
right.
that have watched my episode reviews before are very familiar with the fact that I tend to give away spoilers.
All right, so it opens up. There's a special ceremony. Teela is getting promoted to Man-at-Arms. No one knows why, because Man-at-Arms still looks like he's maybe in his mid-40s and has many more years of putting foot to Skeletorian ass cheeks. But for some odd reason, she's
Hey, how dare you?
Hey, your booty cheeks have been getting clapped for decades. Deal with it. Now, back to what I was saying is, so there's some, ceremony. She's getting promoted to Man-at-Arms, even though Man-at-Arms is still alive and in 100% fighting form. What appears to be He-Man and a couple of prisoners are marching towards the gates of Castle Grayskull, but for some odd reason, He-Man's not on Battle Cat. I noticed that. I'm like, why is He-Man not on BC? Why ain't he riding, Battle Cat? But I kind of grazed over that. Okay, I said that to Mike, and Mike was like, "Yeah, you're right, boy, you're right." But so they had the sorceress pretend she saw through the ruse of the He-Man that was pretending to be He-Man, or not He-Man. The what the heck was that prisoner? I forgot the prisoner's name, but it was Skeletor in disguise. But she didn't notice that He-Man was not He-Man, because He-Man doesn't ride a horse. He rides a giant 2-ton battle cat. So things kind of stabilized. They have the little reunion between Adam finally shows up to Tila's coronation, I guess. What else can I call it? And things hit the fan. Skeletor's forces attack Castle Grayskull. Adam gets a telepathic "we need help," does one of the most epic He-Man transformations I've ever seen, and then they go off to battle. Should I tag you in now, Mr. Pacific?
You can go ahead and tag me in. And, also during that ceremony, Arco being Arco tries a spell because Cringer is freaking out because of all the fireworks that are being set off because of the celebration of Tila getting promoted. And, well, Arco creates this bubble, and there's only one problem. Cringer can't breathe. So Arco tries to reverse the spell, and Cringer is now about to be crushed. Now, what was happening at Castle Grayskull is with He-Man, and let's put that in quotes. It was He-Man, but it turns out that it's actually Faker. And he tries to hold the sorceress, and the sorceress uses her powers to get away. And all hell starts breaking loose when Skeletor and Evil Lyn reveal themselves. So, back at the castle, with Adam freeing Cringer by using, I don't know, it was some sort of pin, maybe it was a toothpick, who knows? But he frees Cringer, and there's an exchange. There's a knighting ceremony for Tila to commemorate her promotion, as TK already said. And then the sorceress telepathically communicates with Adam, saying, "We need your butt here right now. We're being attacked by Skeletor and his forces, and, well, it's not looking good." So, as TK already mentioned, we have the transformation sequence. It's different from, of course, the Filmation one. It's different from the 2002 He-Man. And of course, John Irving was the original voice of He-Man in the Filmation series. Then Cam Clark, Leonardo from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, was the voice of Adam and He-Man in 2002. And I forget who the actor is for this new version, but anyways, we get the transformation. He-Man shows up to the castle, and the fight ensues. All right, I'm giving it back to you, TK.
Well, this fight is pretty flippin' epic. Grayskull displays some new abilities with these laser crystals of doom that pop out from the towers. There's the Man-at-Arms, and his crew rides in bikes. There's an aerial dogfight kind of going on. Man-at-Arms gets down and he starts crushing, and right when Man-at-Arms is at his height, he's about to get smashed by a giant ball of doom. Who shows up? Oh, my bad. Before this, they actually show, Prince Adam in this show is significantly smaller than He-Man, which makes sense, because in the original series, it always tripped me out that Adam and He-Man looked exactly the same, but wearing different clothes. Kind of like the Superman thing. Oh, look, I'm Clark Kent, but when I take off my glasses, you somehow can't recognize me.
Well, that was part of the fun of the series, too, because it did pay homage to Superman and, with the dual identities.
Okay. Yes, but we know this. Okay. Women
but,
are very, hold on. Women are very, 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 very perceptive when it comes to eyes, facial features. Okay, there's no way Lois Lane is going to be 2 feet from Superman and then be 2 feet from Clark. And her brain's going to go, That's the same dude. Okay.
Well, in the Filmation series, Queen Marlena knew that Adam was He-Man.
Tila should have known too. They got the same damn haircut, the same voice, the same build, the same height.
Well, actually, he talked like this when he was Adam.
And then he deepened his voice. All right, Boneface.
Okay, my bad. Yeah, you're right. You're right. He pulled a Batman. Hi, I'm Bruce Wayne. No, I'm Batman. Okay, you're right. You're right there. You're right there.
So He-Man was doing the Christian Bale before Christian Bale was Christian Bale.
But he still looked like He-Man wearing a pink shirt.
Well, that's because of the budget constraints of the time.
I know, but like right now, I go, yeah, he should be at least physically different than He-Man, invoking the power of Grayskull.
Which the 2002 series did very well.
Yeah. 2002 series is that's on point. Okay, that show that nailed it. Like all they had to do was continue that show and fix the Master Sword, the Power Sword, and that show cake. Okay, cake on toast. I don't even know what that means, but I'm gonna run with it.
Okay.
Like, god dang, it was terrible. But anyway, so what ends up happening is Skeletor somehow, which is in no way, shape, or form explained, knows that the true power of Grayskull and that of Eternia / the universe is buried in a secret chamber under Castle Grayskull.
Yeah. The only people who should know about it are the sorceress and Adam.
Yep. So they have in no way, shape, or form explained how Skeletor knows the Death Star plans. Like, how do you know this? Okay.
How do you know about that? How do you know about that exhaust port the size of a womp rat?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. How do you know? Nothing in the past series, comic books, whatever, ever mentioned him knowing that Grayskull's power consists in a power orb that's buried underneath the castle in a secret chamber in which he also knows his staff can open somehow. This clearly was not meant for fans of the original series. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, continue. They go down into that chamber and, Tila is down there battling Skeletor, and Skeletor makes the remark, "You're not the champion I'm looking for." And he proceeds to push her aside like she's nothing. And we all know. We all know from the original series, even the 2002 series, Tila was no match. Petite little. No match, but she wasn't some petite little rose that would wilt at the side of Skeletor. She would still go after her.
Yep.
But anyways, He-Man shows up to save the day. He and Skeletor battle. And, we get a little bit more of Mark Hamill as Skeletor. And sorry, I still hear the Joker more than I hear Skeletor. And maybe it's because in the original Filmation,
he sounded more like this.
Okay, the last sucked. I'm sorry. And then in 2002, it was more like this. But it was still keeping homage to the original voice that came before. Meanwhile, present Skeletor sounds like current Joker.
No. It sounds more toned down. Sounds like a Joker who's been weathered. He doesn't have that. I don't know. I played Arkham Asylum. He's not invoking his inner Joker. Not even in the laugh. He doesn't even go off from the laugh. It's just a toned down Joker, which it works. It works. Technically, this is supposed to be an older Skeletor, right? So that kind of makes sense. I don't have a problem with the casting of Skeletor. The problem I have is with Buffy's terrible performance.
Oh yes,
For
Sarah
the
Michelle
power of
Gellar
Grayskull.
For Eternia!
You
Buffy
talk
the
about
friend,
miscasting.
right? Buffy the franchise slayer.
Oh,
Yeah.
so I'll tell you who slayed the franchise, but I'm not going to say it just yet.
Oh, we already know. This is due. This is already crashed and burned. Okay, this is crashed and burned.
Because one of the first characters to say off is Mossman, voiced by Alan Oppenheimer, the original voice of not only Skeletor, but Man-at-Arms, Merman, and several other characters in the original Filmation series. He was also, prevalent in a lot of cartoon series in the 80s and 90s, even into the 2000s. He was Captain Keo in the episode Jem'Hadar of DS9.
Well, you know what Kylo Ren said? You got to kill the past. This is why we can't have nice things. This is why we can't have nice things.
Nope. So, anyways, what ends up happening is the chamber that was holding the orb of the elders that contained all of Eternia's powers is opened because Skeletor tricks He-Man into stabbing him right in the stomach. But
which magically lines up with the sword-shaped keyhole. I was noticing, I was like, "That's a sword-shaped keyhole in that." Ah, okay. My God, dude, this guy's his fall from grace as a writer is hurting my soul. But okay, continue, please.
And Skeletor says, "You finally use the sword as it was intended, boy." And with him saying that, it makes you think, does Skeletor know who He-Man really is? Because why else would he call him boy when he's He-Man?
Because one, Skeletor is old, so I mean, calling a grown-ass man boy is kind of an insult.
But anyways, the orb is out. Skeletor shatters the orb with the Havoc staff, and the power's starting to go all over the place, but where it needs to be.
Yep, Grayskull's about to go thermonuclear.
And the sorceress is doing all she can to contain the power, so they devise a plan on how to contain said power of Eternia. And how is that done? With the power sword.
Yep, He-Man draws his sword and with a booming masculine tone screams, "By the power of Grayskull!" Lightning bolt streaks through the castle, hits the power sword. The power sword shatters into two pieces. Oh my God, the humanity! The blast from the orb that would end not only their lives, Eternia, but the entire flip-mothering universe is contained between the blades of the power sword. Prince Adam is sucked. The power of Grayskull is drained from his body, shrinking him back down into Adam. Cringer goes from Battlecat goes from Battlecat back down to Cringer. Tila's eyes pop out of her head as the two halves of the Master Sword morph into two different looking blades. There is a detonation that echoes throughout Grayskull, which, oh, my bad, it's not Castle Grayskull. It's some crystally pretty art castle, and Grayskull is just the illusion over the archive cat. Oh, my God, this is oh my. Okay, anyways, but back to what I was saying. Yeah,
yet Grayskull existed prior to the elders even putting all the power into this orb. It's been around for decades, for centuries. Yet
millennia.
In this series, it's just an illusion.
Yep. Underneath, it's like a holodeck, a hollow deck thing where like the Grayskull fades away. It is some crystal castle thing.
So,
anyways, after that, there's a massive explosion. There is a burnt mark on the ground where Skeletor and He-Man used to be. The king is a complete douche. Oh my God, oh my God. We're going to suffer the next 4 episodes for you guys, but wow, that's not my king. Hashtag not my king.
The reaction to all this after all is said and done, when Duncan Man-at-Arms has to reveal to King Randor and Queen Marlena that Adam lost his life in battle, meaning He-Man lost his life in battle. Marlena knows. Marlena knows, as you all know.
He said
especially
He-Man. He said He-Man has fallen, and then his
yeah,
mom
but
starts crying.
yeah, because
But then-
Marlena knows if He-Man fell, that means Adam's not coming back because
Yeah,
Adam and
and then-
He-Man are one and the same.
Yeah, that's why he goes, "Oh, okay," and she's like, "No, we've lost our son," and he's like, "What? What are you talking about?"
And Duncan tries to explain to King Randor that
That's
Adam
not
and
King
He-Man
Randor.
are one and the same.
Stop
And
misgendering
thi-
King Randor. That's not him. That's not King Randor.
Well, if I was on video, I'd be putting quotes every time I say it.
Mm-hmm.
But King Randor acts like a total asshole, and says
Banishes
Adam
Man
never
at
lived. Yeah, and also says that Adam never lived up to his expectations. Now you would think, finding out that Adam and He-Man are one and the same, and that Adam risked his life over and over and over again to save the people of Eternia, he'd be going, "My son was He-Man all this time. He risked his life each and every time."
A tear would go into his eyes. He would collapse into his throne and go, "I have been a fool all this time." That's good writing.
I've misjudged him all this time.
Yes. Epic fucking fail. Pardon my French.
No, go ahead.
Shitty writing. Shitty writing for that character.
And not only that, Tila's reaction.
Yeah.
Tila acts like a selfish, spoiled brat. Selfish, spoiled bitch. She takes off her tiara. She says she wants nothing to do with Eternia. She wants nothing to do with magic. She's done with all their lies. When you got to look at it this way. I'm not looking at it from Tila's perspective. You got to look at it from the perspective of Man-at-Arms, the Sorceress, Arco, and Prince Adam. The more people you tell, the more likely the secret gets out. The less people who know, the better.
Okay, here we go. Here's the thing. Tila. Okay. Man-at-Arms, right? That's pretty much the Secretary of freaking Defense of their nation. Okay?
He was the captain of the guard.
Captain of the guard. So she should understand He-Man is special forces. That means that shit needs to be kept a secret. Okay? She should understand that was a secret that was kept for security purposes. Because if Skeletor knew that Prince Adam was the damn He-Man, was He-Man, that would put the royal family at even more risk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the fact that no one knew, Skeletor would have to spread his forces thin, trying to figure out and scour and find out where He-Man is. And I'm assuming that he just assumed that He-Man lives somewhere in Castle Grayskull, which is probably why most of the attacks were focused on Castle Grayskull. Had somehow it slipped out that Adam was He-Man, the majority of his attacks would probably been focused on the castle, using his freaking parents against him.
I'm checking our sound real quick.
Which would have turned the tides. Which would have turned the tides of battle and made life of every average Eternian way worse. But of course, my feelings are more important than logic and reason. Way to go, Kevin. Way to go.
Kevin Smith, you son of a fucking bitch.
Right?
What you have...
Piece of shit. Get on your knees and beg for forgiveness from Clownfish TV.
That's right. Clownfish TV deserves an apology. Neon and Kiki Sparkles deserve an apology because the last few minutes of this episode are fucking shit. Fucking shit.
Oh shit. Pacific? I think you might need to pick up the phone because Clownfish TV fucking called it.
They did. They did. And before anybody says that I'm not a fan of Masters of the Universe, He-Man and Masters of the Universe, I'm going to show you guys something. You see this? This book right here? I don't know if you're watching the stream, TKO,
I see it.
but yeah, you see this? I've had this since I was a kid. I've had this since I was a kid. Oh,
Are you about to whip out Skeletor? I called it. Oh no!
Don't say I'm not a He-Man fan. Still, when Matty Collector was around, yeah. Not only did I buy He-Man,
But I also bought Skeletor.
Yeah.
Oh,
Your
oh,
loyalty makes me feel good in my places.
Oh,
Yes.
and this is
Yes.
beautiful. This is beautiful, you cunt. And I'm talking to you, Kevin Smith. Look right here, you bastard.
Orko
Look
defeat
right
Adam.
here. Yeah, Adam's down there too, but
Orko defeated him.
look. Yeah.
How did Orko defeat him? Orko tried to give Adam a haircut, but ended up asphyxiating him accidentally.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, Kevin Smith. You said that people who grew up watching He-Man and the Masters of the Universe hated Arco. No, Arco was one of the best parts of the show. Lou Scheimer created Arco, and Arco was his favorite character. Mattel bought the rights to Arco. They produced toys. Heck, in the original toy line, I had the Arco figure where you put the zip line through and he spun around. And you want to talk about diverse. If there was any show that was diverse, it was He-Man and the Masters of the Universe produced by Filmation. That was the most diverse, most open company there was. Most progressive company, if you want to use that term, there ever was. And without Filmation, guess what else wouldn't have aired back in the early 70s? Star Trek the Animated Series.
Oh, yeah.
How many great classics have they created? More than I can count. But Brave Star comes to mind. Ghostbusters, I'm not talking about the real Ghostbusters. I'm talking about Ghostbusters.
Right, you messed up. Brave Star.
Well, I'm glad you brought up a theme, because the theme music that they created for their shows, it's memorable. You can still remember it to this day. The music in this series,
Yeah, meh. Sad cakes with pie.
I mean, I'm so tired of this. Oh, I don't know if you heard about this. I mean, we're
crap.
talking about Masters of the Universe in this broadcast.
Sorry.
But looks like the next one in the crosshairs are those totally awesome turtles, dude. If any of you watched my stream yesterday, you saw me play Turtles Rescue Palooza. And like, that game is too beloso, dude. But now Seth Rogen won.
Go ahead.
Who knows what they're going to do to the turtles?
Are they going to turn Leonardo into a female black turtle?
I don't know what Seth Rogen has in mind. The only thing I've heard is that he wants them to act more like teenagers. I'm thinking, oh shit. So there goes the good.
That makes sense. I mean, see, okay, me, I'm a writer. You guys are going to probably be hearing getting some information in the next few months about something that I'm going to be working on. But I would take the Ninja Turtles, and I would put out Ninja Turtles, like them grown, seasoned. How have they grown? Master Splinter has passed on, and what are they going to do on their own? Like, that's a story I want to see. Splinter is gone, possibly Shredder's even gone, and there are new threats out there.
But this is where you can introduce Karai.
Ooh, yeah! She takes over.
You could introduce Karai, and she's the new leader of the Foot Clan, and there you go.
See, one of them. Okay, my major problem that I believe that Western IPs have, especially comic books and we'll say animated IPs, the characters don't freaking age. All they do is reboot over and over and over and over again. Reboot, 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 reboot. Like Masters of the Universe, for example. Okay? This show, I would have been like, Adam is freaking King Adam. He's getting up there in age, and he needs to pass the sword down to his son.
Well, in the comics, he and Tila have a son, and that's exactly what happens.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the reason why manga is so damn good is they don't keep recycling the same garbage. Okay? Like, I love Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z blew my mind because you saw Gohan grow up and then have his own family. But The Simpsons, Bart's been 10 years old for 40 years. Okay?
Actually, it's been over 30, but who's
or 30
counting?
years. Whatever. Okay? Superman dies, resurrect. Marvel. Oh, we're just going to reboot X-Men again. Oh, now we're going to make Teenage X-Men. Now we're going to redo it again. Everyone's the same freaking age. Like, they have the exact same freaking character roster for since the 50s. Same with DC.
I mean, look at all the characters that are being replaced when there's no need to replace characters when there are characters that already exist. If you look at the way Hollywood is now, redhead gone with the redhead.
I know. What's up with this redhead genocide? I mean, like all of them. They're wiping all of them out. Mary Jane? Oh, hell no. You will not take Mary Jane, the hottest redhead in the history of redheads. No.
Batgirl's the latest.
And Ariel? Fuck off.
It ticks me off to no end what Hollywood has been doing to these established franchises, whether it be Star Trek, Star Wars. Of course, a lot of you have already heard my rants here on Pacific414 episode reviews about that. But, Star Trek, Star Wars, Doctor Who.
Terminator.
Yeah, Terminator.
The Last of Us 2.
Ghostbusters.
Well, I don't know. I heard Ghostbusters is doing a U-turn. Okay.
Yeah, Ghostbusters Afterlife is being produced by Ivan Reitman and it was directed by his son. That movie was supposed to come out last year, but just like Top Gun, it was delayed because of the coup.
It's probably going to be good. Same with Top Gun too, because I know damn well Tom Cruise is not going to let his character get Luke Skywalkered. He's going to make sure that character goes out with honor, dignity, and respect.
And what's funny is I've even seen it before, Masters of the Universe Revelation, an episode of Comic Book Men that was a show by Kevin Smith, where Kevin Smith even says he has no love for He-Man.
Yeah,
and the fact that he mentions 1981 for the animated series. No, the toys came out first, and the comics came out with the toys in 81. Then it was the animated series.
Hold up. Secretary of Defense, Pacific414. I need you to gather all your forces, and I need a deep investigation. Is his name Kevin Smith or Kevin Johnson?
At this rate, he doesn't have a Johnson.
Ooh. I want to compare DNA between him and Ryan Johnson.
Toy Boy Smith.
I'm just saying, this may not be our Kevin. This might be a Lizard Man impersonator.
It's not the Kevin Smith who brought us Clerks II, Mallrats, Dogma, Chasing Amy, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, because I saw Jay and Silent Bob reboot, and that movie fucking sucked. I turned it off.
Well, go ahead.
It's like watching Loki. I could only get through 15 minutes of that. That's why I've never done a review on the show, because I refuse to do a review on that show because it's boring. It's fucking boring.
Yeah, episode 1 is kind of boring. Like, it picks up after episode 1, but like you're watching it, like you have to shut off your brain and watch it, because they pull the whole, oh look, female Loki's better than male Loki in every way. Yeah, it's kind of annoying to watch, but then you just put that aside. Like, I mean, it's watchable. It's not terrible. It's not as bad as Falcon and Winter Soldier. Okay, it's, but it does fall really short of what we were expecting or hoping for.
I understand your point, but I'm tired of male characters being treated like crap, like they don't matter. That we're stupid. We're not stupid. You look at Next Generation, DS9, Voyager. What were men and women doing in those shows? Working together, as it should be.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's all part of the agenda. Okay, they're trying to spread socialism into
the master agenda.
Yeah, into America. The only way you're going to get socialism in people to embrace socialism is by destroying 2 things. 1, the family unit, and 2, any type of religion or nationalism of the original country.
They're destroying our mythos.
And they target the young people because, the young people are always easily manipulated. Like the Cuban Revolution, the Russian Revolution, they're all students, young people who don't know any better.
Yep.
And these young people, these young students think, oh my God, if communism comes, we're all... No, it's like, you're not going to be party members. China has 1 billion plus people, but they only have a few 100,000 Communist Party members. They are the elites, the nobles. So these idiots in the street going, socialism is great. You'll be peasants. Or eliminated because of the useful idiots. Because the brown shirts all got killed after Hitler took over, and the Red Guard, Mao Zedong, executed them because they didn't need revolutionaries running around and just, because they knew as soon as they installed their communist government, these people who thought they're going to get all these free handouts and life's going to be easy is going to go, wait, this shit's worse. So he killed them all.
Yeah.
But hey,
because history is repeating itself.
Yeah, I guess this is why they're trying to shy away from teaching actual history of these nations in the indoctrination camps. I mean, colleges in America.
It's just gotten old. What I want good storytelling, but I want characters that are believable.
Yeah, that's why Kurt, Superman, and Lois currently is damn good. Okay. Damn good, relatable show. Like, you would think, how can you relate to a man who could pick up a semi-truck and throw it, 50 miles away? Well, they managed to pull it off. It is not cringe. There's very little cringe in Superman and Lois on the CW, which confuses me since the CW, they're one of the masters of cringe.
That's why I was so reluctant to watch it. And because, all the CW shows start off well, and then they take that left turn and
I don't feel... Oh, my bad. I don't think that the CW is going to follow that same path. Because unlike the other shows, the CW is like, this is working. And they're like, we're not... No. They even tried. Because remember, during the lull of Superman and Lois, they tried to... hey, we're going to do Supergirl. And everyone was like, no, you guys can do that. We're not.
Well, even in today's episode of The Bad Batch, Omega's there, and she and the character Sid are, dictating what the Bad Batch is going to do. It's like, wait a minute. If you're supposed to be a team, act like a team.
Oh, well, I have several episodes of Bad Batch stored up because, I like to not have one episode at a time. It kind of drives me insane. But I'm gonna go check that out later. My life is about to get very much more busy, and yours probably as well. But wow, the show is gonna be a massive disappointment because Superman, He-Man is out of the show apparently at episode 1, and I don't know when he's going to come back, and Effie's going to come back. Well, I mean, I know he's going to come back, but how, in what form? Because I saw a red-eyed version of him in the trailer, so it's like, oh, here we go.
Yep. So the red-eye version is either one of two things. It's an apparition, or it's another version of Faker.
Yep. And
take a little bit of Terminator.
Yep. And we know damn well there's no way in hell Teela would stand a chance in a fight against He-Man. Kind of like that one embarrassing show where Supergirl managed to beat Clark in the CW Supergirl. It's like, you've literally had your powers maybe a year or two. This man has had his powers for 20 freaking years. Fought Doomsday. Fought what the hell's his name? God, what's his name? The second
Evil
most powerful.
Seed?
No. The guy who has his own planet named after him because he's so fucking arrogant.
You
Crap.
had to ask me.
I'm having a break. Anyways, Superman has been through all kinds of combat. He's a seasoned veteran, but this little girl half his size can defeat him. And he's like, infected by this kryptonite that makes him mad and stronger, but she still managed. I'm like, oh my God, stop it. Stop it.
Well, what irritates me about Star Trek Discovery is that everybody has to go through Michael Burnham for approval before a plan can be initiated, because Michael Burnham is the one who initiates all the plans.
Ever. Yeah, I know. That show is I've not watched a single episode of that show.
Lucky you.
Not a single episode of that cancer has crossed my eye plates. Okay.
But what really irritates me, getting back to Masters of the Universe, is Kevin Smith calling Clownfish TV, Neon, and Geeky Sparkles liars, saying they don't know what they're talking about, and getting on fans' cases because he doesn't quote the right dates. Well, if you're going to be behind a show that's already had 2 incarnations of it, then you better know your history of that show and what's been done in the comics as well. It would be like if I knew nothing about Star Trek. Well, actually, let me give you a better example. Nicholas Meyer, the director of Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, knew nothing of Star Trek.
What?
He knew absolutely nothing of Star Trek. You know what he did? And also executive producer Harv Bennett, who took over from Star Trek II to Star Trek VI in the movies. They watch each and every episode of the original series just so they can get a feel for what the characters should be like.
Wow.
Yes.
That's what you should do.
Yeah, that's what a good writer does. They watch
Man.
the previous shows. And
Freaking
you know what that
freaking nailed it.
Yeah, and you know what the actors of, let's say, DS9, Voyager, and Enterprise did? And part of it was because they were told to, is they would go back and watch certain episodes of Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, if Deep Space Nine was already going, the original series, just to get an idea of how a Vulcan's supposed to be, how a Klingon's supposed to be, how a Borg is supposed to be.
Yep.
Now, when it came to characters like Neelix, well, Ethan Phillips pretty much could create him the way you want, and
I don't know why people hated Neelix so much. People that compare Neelix as like the Jar Jar Binks of Star Trek. I'm like, no, I like Neelix as a character.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, because we're getting back to Arco. Saying that fans hated Arco. No, we didn't. We didn't hate Arco. We liked Arco.
Yeah,
Yeah,
especially back then.
he made mistakes, but one of the great things about the Filmation animated series was that those mistakes were used as teaching lessons at the end. You know, the PSAs that they would have at the end of each and every episode say, you know, kids, instead of being mean to someone you don't know, walk up to them, introduce yourself, be nice to them.
Yeah, that's how me and you
And,
became friends.
yeah, and we've been friends for a very long time.
Yep.
26 years.
Yep. No judgment, just my homie.
No. Yeah, and it's like, okay, what's this guy's story? And oh, he likes Star Trek. Well, so do I.
Oh snap! Let's write our own comic book, which we had fans in high school of our stupid little comic book.
Not only that, we had fans who like to read our stories. I mean, I look at the stories now and I go, well, my F is shit.
Garbage. I told you, Nebula Storm, I'm scrapping the entire 250 pages. It's getting scrapped. I'm redoing it. It's total garbage.
It's like, you know, you look at Picard right now and, oh, Picard does his, no, of course he sounds older because Patrick Stewart is older, but he apologizes. I'm sorry for not being there for the Romulan Star Empire. When the Romulan Star Empire could very well, damn well, help themselves with the size of their fleet.
I'm sorry that I saved the fucking galaxy a couple of times from the Borg because, you know, the Borg would have killed all of you fucks. I'm also sorry I'm not God and I can't be everywhere at once and solve everyone's. Fuck off, film.
Critical drinker?
Yes, I channel my critical. Fuck off, show. My bad. Holly woke, go away. Come again, no other day.
I mean, again, you know, getting back to your point, looking at this still from revelations of He-Man and Skeletor, yeah, it's like a car. On the outside, it looks beautiful, but you don't know what damage lies under the hood.
Yep. Mm-hmm. See,
and you know,
force diversity always ends in shit. If you start your freaking creation based off of checking boxes, it's going to suck. Your creation should tell you who should be where and when. Now, as you all know, I'm a black man and I'm a writer. 98% of my characters are not black. I close my eyes and the story tells me what these characters are. And no one mentions it. There's no one going around, I'm a you know, a toaster, a green toaster. No one cares. That's just what they look like. I don't care about representation. I don't give a shit. Okay, I don't need a character to look like me for me to relate to that character. Because I relate to people on a moral and I guess you could say intellectual level. I don't care what's between your legs. I don't care what you want to stick what's in between your legs into. I don't give a shit. Like Batwoman. All around woman and her sexuality. We don't give a shit. We're here to watch some Batwomans. Kick some ass. Spread some justice. I don't care who she wants in her bed. Don't give a single fuck about that. Most Americans, as you can tell by the ratings, they don't give a shit either.
Well, some of us couldn't make it 20 minutes into that show before they turned it off.
Oh, I didn't make it 20 seconds into that show. I didn't even give it the one episode test. I was like, I already know what this is. Nope.
I mean, you know, you look at the 2002 He-Man series. When I first heard about it, you want to know how I heard about it? I went into a Walmart and there were new He-Man toys on the peg hooks. I'm
When was
going,
this?
this is around 2002, just before the series premiered. I went into a Walmart and I'm all, new He-Man? I mean, they don't look like the originals, but damn, they look good.
Huh.
And then, going, a new He-Man animated series? All right, I'll check it out, just out of curiosity. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. I recognize that voice. And it was Cam Clark, who was Leonardo in Ninja Turtles, using his Leonardo voice for Adam. I'm going, all right, Teenage Mutant Ninja Masters.
Masters of the Ninja Turtles, Masters of the Ninja Turtles, Masters of the Ninja Turtles. I have the power. Yes, I do.
Pizza Power.
Totally.
But anyways,
Like,
I'm watching.
by the power of
Jabra.
pepperoni. By the power of pepperoni.
But
I no longer have the hunger.
I'm watching the series and I'm seeing that series incarnation of Man at Arms, and Man at Arms was voiced by Gary Chalk, who actually voiced He-Man in the New Adventures of He-Man that aired in 1990 and 1991, only one season. But I'm looking at that new iteration of Man at Arms, and then Teela, and I'm thinking, this Teela's got some sass. I mean, yeah, the Filmation one did, but this particular Teela in 2002, she had sass, which you would expect from the character.
Yep.
And of course, Skeletor. Yeah, he didn't look 100% like the original Skeletor, but they kept the key points of what Skeletor looks like. But the voice, it was a little deeper. It wasn't as high pitched, but you can still tell it was Skeletor.
Man, I watched She-Ra the other day and it was hilarious. I was like, damn.
Wait a minute, TK, you watched a girl show? Oh my god, man, what's wrong with you?
Oh my god, I know, right?
You're kidding. Back in the 80s.
We don't want women in He-Man. Shut the fuck up.
Back in the 80s, we didn't give a shit.
Nope.
My sister likes Strawberry Shortcake and Care Bears. I didn't care. I still watched it with her.
Same. I was forced to because I remember. I mean, I lived back in the day where there was like one TV in the house. So when it's your sister's turn, you have to sit there and suffer with her.
Yeah. It was the same for us. And another show my sister liked was Jim.
Jim, dude, I watched Jim because back then they were hot. I'm like, damn. Okay, they were like my waifus before waifus were a thing. What?
TK, we do not objectify women like that, sir. We do not objectify them at all.
Okay. Okay, Bob. All right, I think we pretty much covered the pain, and yes, we will be.
Well, of episode 1.
Yeah, episode 2. I'm not looking forward to because He-Man probably is not going to be in episode 2. I'm just going to have to deal with. Karen. I mean, not Karen. I mean, Teela.
I'm going to ask you this right on stream. We got 4 episodes left. They're about 25 minutes long. You think we can do it? You think we got the power? Can we call on the power of Grayskull?
The power of Grayskull has been shattered, so I don't know if there's any hope, my friend. We will step upon the fields of battle and expose our eyeballs to various forms of mental cancer. We will do it so that our fans do not have to. We will take that L. We will take that mental brain cancer and we will stand tall above the mountains, the fields, and the valleys to protect our citizens. As a member of the Digital Department of Defense, Pacific, it is your and my duty to take those bullets to protect the people.
Well, you talk about losses. I'm a Cub fan. I know all about that shit.
While pain and suffering will know no bounds.
But I've also seen some cringe-worthy episodes of Discovery, and not to say every episode of Voyager or the
How
Next
did you
Generation
survive
was.
that?
I used my mental powers.
How the living hell did you survive? STD.
Well, after a while, you develop some sort of immunity to the virus, and you continue on.
That's not a
You
virus.
call on the power.
STD is straight cancer, so I mean.
It was a one shall stand, one shall fall type of moment, and I'm not going to be the one that's going to fall.
No. One shall stand,
Oh.
all shall fall.
Oh, and that, let's get back to Masters of the Universe real quick. Yes, Moss Man, we hardly knew ye in this new series. And Kevin Smith saying, we can't handle deaths. Listen, Kevin Smith. Listen, soy boy. I just want to tell you one thing. And I'm speaking for myself. I'm sure I can speak for TKO. But we dealt with and got through the death of Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime, a character you dissed in Clerks II. Well, guess what? Optimus Prime came back not once.
And kicked your ass. I hate that fucker. He lost all respect I had for him.
Well, saying that Clownfish TV was lying and then throwing the bait and switch, that's just bullshit.
Yep. Complete and utter bullshit.
I saw Midnight's Edge earlier, and I heard Mexican Iron Man's rant about it. And man, shit, God help Mexican Iron Man. God help him, because he was pissed, and I'm trying to control my emotions. I'm trying to be as Vulcan as possible right now instead of yelling and ranting and raving, and it is hard.
Right.
It is hard, but we've been rambling for an hour now, and I'm not one of those streamers that wants to ramble for 6 hours straight, especially with TKO having to get going here shortly. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the stream. Thank you, TKO, for joining me this evening on this edition of Pacific414 episode review.
You are freaking welcome. I mean, you're lucky we go back way back for this torture you're about to bring me through, because 4 more episodes of this. Oh God.
You're not going through it alone. You are not going through it alone.
That's not the point. Pain and suffering on a scale unimaginable by normal human beings.
Yeah, Pain Thunder.
This is worse than Pain Thunder. I would take Pain Thunder for 1,000 years over this. 10,000 years of lament, pain, and suffering. Wrapped up into 4 more episodes.
And if you want to see TKO go through Pain Thunder, you can follow him on his Twitch channel. The link is down in the description. So, give him a watch, give him a follow. Makes it a lot of fun. He goes through the pain, so you don't have to. And I don't have to.
Damn you. Damn you. Pain Thunder.
And if you'd like to follow me on social media, well, then you can follow me on Twitter. Again, the link is down in the description. Same with Instagram and my own Twitch account. So if you want to, do the speaks, do the socializing, that's where you can find me.
Socializing. Huh. Kakarot.
All right. So until tomorrow, this has been Mike for Pacific414 episode review, and my guest host,
TKO from the DDoD, Digital Department of Defense. I'm your Commander-in-Chief. Thank you for joining us.
Well, I'm the Commander-in-Chief here.
That's
right. I'm creating a rivalry, brother. I know. It's getting late. Okay. Good night, everyone.
All right.
Peace.
All right, I'm going to go get ready. Oh, geez.